Welcome to As Yet Unsolved, the show where we take a look at unsolved cases from around the world that still haunt us. We look to dive into major and lesser-known cases as a way of educating and keeping the memory of those lost alive. It's our sincere hope that someday all of the cases featured here will be solved and bring closure to all of those involved. But before we begin, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell to be alerted when we release new content, as over 90% of you watching are not yet subscribed. New videos release every single week, and your support means the world to us as we strive to not filter our content, as we feel it does a disservice to those featured. This is As Yet Unsolved, and the murder of Jenny Low Chang. Jenny Low Chang was a college student attending San Francisco State University as a pre-dental student. Jenny was an exceptional student, bright, hard-working, and would make the dean's list every semester while she was there. Jenny was well loved and spent most of her time studying, so when Jenny left her dorm room at around 6 p.m. on the evening of September 11th, 1977, telling her roommate that she was stepping out for a while to get some studying done, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. September 11th of that year fell on a Sunday, which meant that the library would be closed to students at that time. Knowing this, Jenny told her roommate that she was heading to the garden room of the school's library, which was located in the basement and was open to students until 11 p.m. Again, nothing out of the ordinary for a student committed to her studies. Unfortunately, her roommate would be the last person to see or speak with Jenny before she was found brutally murdered. After Jenny did not return to her dorm room the next morning, her roommate would report her missing to school officials. Estimates would suggest that around 70 students came and went from the garden room on the evening of the 11th, but none seemed to remember ever seeing Jenny there during the evening and until close. Jenny would quickly be found by accident after a professor who was leading a group of graduate students up to the faculty reading room on the upper floors of the library discovered Jenny's body the following morning. Jenny's body was found on the 4th floor in a locked room. She was naked and showed signs of having been sexually assaulted, beaten, bludgeoned with an ashtray, and stabbed some 18 times. Broken objects were also found, suggesting a possible struggle. Strangely, her clothes and schoolwork were found nearby, left in a neat pile. Police investigators noticed some strange things when they looked into the case, like the fact that Jenny would have had to enter the room with someone who had a key, as the doors to that floor were locked at around 5 p.m., including those of the elevator. Information gathered suggests that a lot of people, some 200 by accounts, had master keys to access the area, including most staff members, around 1,200, having coded key cards which would also allow them access to the room. But without much to work from at the time, only 2 people were ever questioned by police: a campus security guard and a faculty member. It would later come out that a master key to all the doors on the campus was reported missing about a month before the murder took place. Jenny would be the first murder reported at the campus, But despite all the attention that garnered, her case would grow cold. Sometime in 2017, one of the original investigators on the case would tell a reporter that they had a person of interest, but that they did not have enough evidence to move forward with them as a possible suspect at the time. Additional information gathered seems to suggest that the security guard was the person of interest the investigator spoke about, and that they apparently left their shift early on the evening of the 11th without alerting a supervisor. They also failed to turn in their keys, as was proper procedure when clocking out. When police questioned the guard, they simply told police that they weren't feeling well and simply went home early that evening. Sources indicate that the guard was terminated shortly after for his actions. It should also be noted that several people close to the case have stated that the security guard's father was a sheriff in San Diego, and that the guard had issues before, allegedly involving not paying prostitutes, assault, and brandishing a weapon. The case of Jenny Low Chang remains unsolved some 40 years later. A later investigation requested documents related to the case from the school and state, but found something unexpected. One issue of the local newspaper was missing from the microfilm records they were given. It could not be found in the official archive or in the yearbook record. A case historian had managed to save the issue of the newspaper in question. The articles in the paper were surprising, as they mentioned a person possibly related to the case, the security guard mentioned earlier. That issue of the paper went into a lot of details regarding the guard's past, including the prior assaults we mentioned. Unfortunately, by that time, the security guard in question had passed in 2002. With the advent of new technology, investigators of the murder of Jenny Low Chang hope to unravel the mystery of just who her killer was. They hope forensics may be able to find some clues if evidence from the scene still manages to exist. At the time of this writing, the case remains unsolved, but an active and ongoing private investigation continues. Anyone with any information is encouraged to contact the San Francisco Police Department. Thank you for watching this episode of As Yet Unsolved. Let us know in the comments below what you thought of this case, and if you know of an unsolved story that you'd like us to look into for a possible future video. Thank you again for watching, and remember to be good to each other, and let's hope someday soon we can officially close this case.